Welcome to the OhioRAAM Show, number 283.
Well, it's Lee Kreider from the OhioRAAM Show, where we try to explore the ultra and ultra cycling. And our theme right now is keeping hope alive as we deal with this pandemic and all the constrictions it puts on all our lives, particularly those who are ultra cyclists. And so today, we're going to go over to the beautiful country of Slovenia and visit with one of the stars of ultra cycling, Marko Baloh. But before we do that, we want to remind you that down below here, there are show notes, which will lead you to some more information about Marko and particularly his coaching service that he offers, as well as some other things. And also, as we always do, a thank you to the wonderful people who run the time stations here in Ohio, 24 hours a day. These sleepless people do a wonderful job at time station 41 on Oxford, 42 in Blanchester, and 43 in Chillicothe, Ohio. So with that, let's head out across the ocean, over the Alps, and across the Adriatic to Slovenia and Marko Baloh. Hi, Marko. How are you today?
Pretty good, as far as the situation is. We're doing fine, so we're healthy, and I'd rather be cycling outside, which still isn't an option, not in the full scale, but otherwise we're good. So thanks for calling.
Well, Slovenia shares a long border with Italy, as I look on the map.
Yeah.
And they've been particularly impacted. How are things in Slovenia? Are you handling the thing well there? And are you locked down?
Yeah, I guess our neighboring Italy probably helped us because it was a big school for our leaders, I don't know, for the government. So I think they're doing pretty good job. I mean, they didn't miss much. Maybe I think we've been in lockdown since March 15th or mid-March, so a month, maybe 6 weeks now. So they're doing pretty good job. I mean, there's no panic. The hospitals are, I mean, there are people, I think 70 plus people died. So it's not huge number, but it's still going on. And people in hospital, I mean, the number is controllable. It's still, I guess, less than 100 or something. So it's not bad. But yeah, we've been locked down for 6 weeks now. So just essential shops. In fact, today is the first day that the bike shops reopened and the car dealers and stuff. So it's going to reopen step by step. So we're looking forward, to be able to ride outside. In fact, it's been allowed since this weekend, but only in your own municipality, if you want to call it. So it's not for ultra cyclists. It's not huge. But you can go if it's sunny. I go out once or twice a week. I mean, yeah, that's the plan. But today is rainy, shitty weather. So today, otherwise, it's just a lot of indoor training. That's what changed. Usually in March, April, we were outside almost all the time, except when maybe it was raining or snowing. Now we're just inside. Zwift is the name of the game.
Now, remind me of your family. I know they're growing. Tell me about your children, their ages.
Remind me of my age. Yeah. Anna has been 20 now during the epidemic. So couple of weeks ago, 20th birthday. So she's already away from home in self quarantined with her boyfriend. Then there's Eric. Eric is 16 and Thea will be 13 this year. So they're growing. Only Thea is still in primary school. Eric is in middle school. So yeah, they're schooling from home. So it's a bit tense for a moment, on moments, because you're all together now for a month and a half. But it's going pretty well. Now they're talking about, they still don't know whether to reopen schools or because they have to start, getting grades, testing or something. So they are either going to start online testing or maybe they will go back to school. We're still waiting for the decision. I guess in the beginning of May, it'll be known how to proceed.
Now, are they doing a lot of online schooling there?
Yeah, they have a lot. They have there were some hiccups from the beginning, so they have some e-schooling and over emails. Even they had some Zoom sessions with teachers and stuff. So yeah, it's going on. I don't know. I don't stand behind their back, so not sure. I mean, when they miss something, so that's how we see that it works, because when they miss something or they don't turn in the homework, then the teachers mail the parents, so we have to intervene a little bit. But it's not has not been a lot of those mistakes. So they're doing pretty well, and they like it. I mean, contrary to us, they love being all the inside and on computers. It's just
Yeah.
not
Well,
perfect situation, but yeah.
I've heard some parents here in the United States who were trying to help their children with homeschooling. They suddenly want a huge increase in pay for teachers.
Yeah, that's true. Now you get to see how it's not always sometimes parents complain about the teachers and and now you see it's not an easy job, and the children can be difficult. So yeah, I can imagine. I think the teaching job is one of the most important, because kids are our future. So
Well, I'm not going to get into your rather stellar ultra cycling career. Again, on the show notes down here, you'll see a link to Marko's website, which will tell you a lot about him. But I do want to talk about your coaching business you've started up. Now, Marko, it's amazing to me how many people I interview here who mention that you're their coach. So, how is your coaching business doing, and how are you handling it? And what's going on
yeah.
while we're in this hiatus?
Yeah, I mean, it's been going pretty well. I mean, I'm not complaining. Probably, yes, some of them are my clients. Some of them used to be, the business is fluctuating. I mean, yeah, people usually have a big goal, which a lot of the times is RAM, and after they manage to finish, they just or they just dream of other things, or maybe just tone up a little bit on cycling. So not every RAM finisher continues with coaching. But yeah, so far, yeah, almost all of my RAM clients finished. Just the first one had a big accident, which was a little bit a big disappointment. Yeah, he ended up in a hospital. So yeah, but in overall, I cannot complain. I have this year I was supposed to have let me see, six people in RAM, so 4 solos and 2 in team, 2-person team, and 3 races across the West, which are all now as you know, the races have been cancelled. So we had to reschedule a little bit, talk with the client. I mean, most of them already knew for themselves whether they want to continue, and I mean, just train for another year, for next year. It's been a lot of stress, especially during the times they didn't know whether it's going on or not. But now more or less, there's some. I have a client that's just not able to do it next year. So I mean, she took. It takes a lot of commitment, not just financial, but time-wise, and you have to more or less turn your life upside down, because it's a lot of hours on the bike, and also logistics and organizing everything.
I was talking to Anna May, and she brought something up that I hadn't really thought about. The economic impact of this pandemic could have a serious impact on ultra cycling next year. Will there be an economy to support it? Will there be sponsors willing to give the money? It's going to be a big challenge, Marko.
Yeah, even for the professional, teams, I followed that quite a lot. They have some issues, and they lowered the riders' paychecks and everything just to survive, for teams to survive. So it's going to be even harder for us, for ultra cyclists, because it's always hard to raise the money, especially for European guys. RAAMs, I don't know, $40,000 probably minimum, maybe even more. So it's going to be hard. Yeah. So yeah. But I think we're gonna think about it or worry about it when that comes along.
Right.
Now we were just more worried about this season. What if any races are going to be going on. I'm kind of, for myself, I'm still racing a little bit here and there. So yeah, I'm kind of hopeful that Borrego 24-hour World Championships will still be on. So that's on my that keeps you motivated. Otherwise, if I just kept it for 2021 when Red Bull Trans-Siberian is on my schedule, it just wouldn't be motivated. I mean, probably not as motivated as necessary. That could be a problem with traveling overseas and stuff.
Traveling, and again, the expenses involved.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, for now, we have to stay positive. So I'm taking it as that race is still going on. I mean, they still haven't opened the registration, but I'm going to do it when they do. If in case that doesn't happen, I'll probably in that case probably nothing will happen this year. So maybe just go for 24-hour record, which, I mean, I've said them a couple of times, but most of them Christoph took for me. But yeah,
I understand he's after another one this year, but I think that's all kind of been put on hold right now.
He's going for 24-hour outdoor track. He already he doesn't have it. In fact, he thought that I had this record. I had it, but a year ago, maybe now it's already 2 winters ago, an Australian guy overtook me for a couple of kilometers, so maybe 2 miles, 2.5 miles, but doesn't matter. So but that was still under 900 Ks, a little bit under, and he wants to go for 1,000, which is crazy number. I mean, I remember when I did the first 900 plus, that was just considered unbelievable.
People I remember that.
Now it's 1,000 on his schedule, which is going to be a hard thing to do, because I've been official on his indoor track record, which is you cannot get more perfect conditions than that.
Conditions, right?
So inside it's not going to be as perfect. But yeah,
let me ask you a question about. I've only been on a track once in my life, and I don't even want to think about that too much. In a long 24-hour or longer, does the G-forces and the turns bother you a great deal, or is that something to think about?
Yeah, it's a lot. I didn't expect. I mean, first of all, it's scary because on those fast tracks are really steep.
Yeah.
So to ride on it, it takes some courage. When you get used to it, it's not that bad.
I found that out.
Yeah, it's tricky. I mean, it's scary from first. Then you get into it. But I was surprised how much my arms hurt, because probably
because of the G-force.
G-force, yeah. Because the loop is 250 meters long. What's that? I don't know.
Yeah.
It really shows probably 20 seconds a lap. So it was 3,600 and some laps, and you just feel it, and you're always probably the flat, not the flat, the straight part is just 2 seconds.
A few meters.
Yeah, a few meters, and then you turn again, and at 40 plus kilometers an hour, the G-force is so you have a lot of pain. Not to mention it's mind numbing, so many laps. But that's why also Christoph said that was just one time deal, because it's just too taxing. It's really crazy.
Well, Marko, we're going to have a virtual RAM, and we were talking about that right before we started the recording. You're planning to do virtual RAW, rather than virtual RAM.
Yeah, let me expand on it. Yeah, I'm really first I'm thankful to the guys who got the idea, and now they're working on it. One of my clients, Rupert Guinness, you probably want to ask him to join for a show in the next weeks. He's a really nice guy. Well, he had the plan of solo RAM, and now everything changed. So that was his idea first, and he got his crew chief involved, and so they're organizing it, and I'm just really looking forward to it. It's not so much about the race. I don't think it's going to be official or something, but it's going to be a gathering, virtual riding together of I'm guessing 10, 20, I don't know, of RAM, maybe even ex-RAM riders, at least for all. I mean, people are asking me if I want to do RAM. It's doable. I mean, it's really cheap this way, but it still takes a lot of time, and I have other things to do. So that's why I decided to do Race Across the West. I really love the race itself, and I just wanted to show my support. And I'll join Rupert and the other guys for probably I join them daily, just for a little bit, just to wake them up a little bit and show my support.
You won't have any virtual heat, I don't imagine.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, you could. Depends on where your trainer is. Some people I know they're putting them outside on the balcony or something, which is probably nicer.
It might get some rain and
what
have you.
Yeah. Well, you have to make yourself comfortable and make it somehow interesting. I don't know. It's gonna be boring anyways. 10 days on the indoor trainer.
Yeah, that's gonna be. And I saw somewhere, and I just reading a little bit about it, that they're limiting your time on the bike to 20 hours a day or something.
20 a day. I think that's a good idea. They don't want somebody to, push. I don't know, 48 hours in one ride. I didn't speak to them why they chose that, but I think it makes sense. So that's
pretty reasonable.
It's reasonable, yeah. It also gives you a nice sleep, or a long one if you're if you're a RAM racer. 4 hours would be pretty long, So yeah, but it's a good.
Do you recall back when we experimented with enduros in RAM? I don't know. I think it did that 1 year, and the next year no one signed up, I believe.
Yeah, that was my ticket back to RAM, because probably people remember my first 2 RAMs ended up in a hospital, both of them. So I was I already it's somewhere on my load website written in the flash. I said no way, I'm not coming back. And of course I did 8 more times. But yeah, the next year they started with this, because sleep was always my weak point. I cannot do it on 45 minutes of sleep like Christoph can. So it was kind of, I said, this is my chance, so I have to do it really quick. So this was 2006, so I did it, yeah. And that year it was already some hoopla. Some people were not satisfied, because it was 40 hours of sleep.
40 hours.
Obligatory sleep, yeah, 40 hours.
And it had to be at a certain. Our time station was one of the spots.
Yeah, there was three spots. Yeah, 3 spots were obligatory. So on 3 time stations, you have to stop and sleep for at least 2 hours. Other where it was your option, but only on time station, and that was the problem.
You had to put in so many time, and our time station there, which was in Troy, Ohio at the time. Was one of those stations, I recall. And
it was a nice experiment, but just people didn't like. Even the first year, it was half. So then, when they saw people were complaining, they gave you an option. You can do enduro, you can do how do you call it, or not the original, well, the normal, the RAM.
Yeah, right.
The normal RAM. So it was pretty much half a field went for enduro. Me and Jure. The fact was that all the prize money was in enduro. So otherwise, I think Jure would go for the traditional RAM. Yeah. But yeah, he went for enduro, and Jonathan Boyer won it. I was second and it was a good experiment. Just hard to control. I mean, it was complicated. Sometimes you pass through the time station, the cyclist feels like, oof, I'm full of. I can go for another.
You weren't ready to sleep at that point, maybe.
I'm sure I was. Yeah. Yeah. But sometimes you miss it. You miss the time station, and you told the crew you don't need to sleep, and then before you reach the next time station, you have to go, and that didn't count for sleep. So it was.
It didn't count. Yeah.
Nowadays they could do it easier, I guess, but they don't want to do it anymore. So it's good as it is. Yeah.
It was interesting. Interesting experiment. Well, we digress quite a bit.
Yeah.
Well, listen. We're going to try to cover VRAM and VRAW somehow. I don't know how we'll do it. I've been talking to a couple people to help me with the reporting, and they've agreed to help. So it'll be an interesting, as far as from the fans' point of view as well. Yeah. How exciting is it going to be? Exciting? Is it? We're going to say, oh, this is boring. We'll find out. Be interesting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Marko, thank you for being with us.
Well, thank you. Thank you to Ohio for being one of the best. When you reach Ohio with those signs, you feel like you're almost at the finish. So this is really a relief, and I'm looking forward to the next time I'm doing it. Well, if I do it.
When we talk about the signs, Marko, we always have to give a shout out to Mike there in Oxford, who does that. He has some help, but mainly he does that out of his own pocket.
Yeah.
He asks for some help by buying the signs. If you want to buy a sign for $10, it helps him put out 2. And he loses about a third of them every year. And they're stolen, so or they get damaged. He does a wonderful job.
He does, yeah.
Marko, thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And we hope to see you out on the road before too many months.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Gregory Zuber speaking. Thank you for your likes and shares.
Music by Kevin MacLeod.